Hey there, and welcome to Retirement Reimagined. I'm Tiffany Neary, Senior Living Specialist, and this is the podcast where we flip the script on senior living. Whether you're a retiree ready to take on a new adventure or just curious about how to make the most of your golden years, you're in the right place. Join me and our amazing expert guests as we dive into everything from hitting the road in an RV, getting your financial ducks in a row, exploring the perks of a reverse mortgage, or just figuring out how to link that smartphone to your car. We're here to inspire, inform, and give you practical tips to live your best retired life. So buckle up, tune in, and let's reimagine what retirement can truly be. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We have with us today a special guest, Lisa Dumont from SoCal Senior Advisors. And you might be asking, what is a SoCal Senior Advisor? Lisa's going to tell us.
Well, thank you so much, Tiffany, for having me on your Retirement Reimagined podcast. I'm so honored to get to speak to your guests and your community. As far as what a senior advisor is, we are kind of a one-stop shop for all things related to aging and longevity.
Okay, so when I think of that, I think, okay, do we have a magic pill? But no, we're more in the placement as far as where do you want to live, that sort of thing.
It's aging in the right place. So what we like to think of it is there's different ways we can approach it, whether it's helping somebody modify their existing home, perhaps relocate them from a two-story to a one-story house, or changing the living situation to allow them a little bit more freedom and independence and go into an independent living community or an assisted living community where a lot more of their needs are taken care of for them so that they can lead the lifestyle that they would like.
Okay, so you would ideally like to talk to someone prior to them retiring, prior to them making their plan for retirement.
You know, we come in many different phases of the
Okay.
game. We come in at when the people are really great planners, which we absolutely love. We love to come up with their roadmap of different possibilities for them. However, not everybody is as good of a planner as some people, or they have a situation where it might not even be them. It might be their parents or their aunt or their uncle that all of a sudden there's an emergency and they're thrust into the situation of becoming a caregiver. So we come in all different phases and times of life.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get back to your actual questions that we had already here. Let's see. As clients are planning for retirement, what should they be focusing on with regards to their own aging and future plans? We kind of hit on it a little bit, but a lot of people do not talk about money. They don't talk about retirement. They don't talk about aging because a lot of people are afraid to bring the subject up.
It's very true. Aging is kind of a taboo subject, even though, let's face it, none of us is getting out of this alive. So we all are aging. It's a natural process. So dealing with the eventuality of the fact that you're probably going to, at some stage of your life, need some sort of assistance. There's a famous quote by Rosalind Carter that says that there's 4 stages of caregiving. You've either been a caregiver, are a caregiver, are going to be a caregiver, or you need a caregiver. So it really, caregiving does apply to everyone, and there is going to be a time in our lives where we do need help. And so planning the eventuality on a financial aspect definitely is important. I've I've seen both sides of it where people have had the forethought to plan and they really do get to live the best life and the way that they want to live. And then there's the other side where they don't have the golden retirement that they were hoping for, and their quality of living and their location where they thought that they would age is not what they'd hoped for. So planning is a very important aspect of it, and looking at it from all sides of understanding what you want your life to look like and how much travel and how much family members being close all plays into that, and kind of taking all those things into account, having a rough idea of what you would like to do helps us plan for the possibility of what your future may look like. And it doesn't necessarily have to go one path. We can do a plan A, plan B. You know, if you're and there are people who are amazingly independent and they stay so vital and energetic 100 years old. I pray that I get to be one of those. And then there's people who maybe need help a little bit sooner than they planned because there's been a health scare or an accident, a physical accident where they need some more help. So there's all kinds of different options we can look into.
Well, both of us are in the senior space. I mostly deal with the financial part of it in the reverse mortgage world. However, we come upon people that more and more people want to age in their own home. They want to age at home. Um, they either want to bring somebody in if they do need help, but they don't want to go to a facility. Some may have to, but if you still have a choice and you have the funds to do that, I think a lot of people are choosing to age in place. Have you
And
seen that?
that is true. That is one of the reasons why I did become a certified aging in place specialist, to allow me to help those people who make the decision to stay in their existing home, so that we can go in and make it as safe as possible, as functional as possible for as long as possible for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then aging in the right place. What does this look like for your clients who are planning for retirement? What about or maybe you have you're taking care of your aging family members. So that is I mean, I think we could do an entire podcast on the people taking care of family members, parents, grandparents, because there's a saying they're known as the invisible patient, but again, whole other podcast.
That is so true. That is so true. And the invisible patient is definitely a phenomenon there that is now coming to light. There's Facebook groups, there's support groups. So please, anybody out there who is caring for a loved one, know that reach out. I'd be happy to make some connections for you so that you can feel more supported and have more information, because a lot of times when you are caregiving for someone, you do neglect your own health and your own well-being. So it is so important to make sure that the caregiver is putting on their own oxygen mask first, so that they can make sure they are keeping in good health, and allowing them the opportunity to care for the ones that they love.
And again, so much information on that right now because people don't realize that takes a toll on your whole body when you're caring for someone else. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper because you are here to guide someone make a plan for where they're going to live, how to move, how to move. Some people that I've come across have a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of collecting that goes on when you spend 40 to 50 years at a house. You do end up with a lot of stuff, and storage units, and Christmas decorations and holiday decorations and children's
Collectible.
memorabilia.
Yeah.
The Christmas gifts, all of a sudden you're the collector of butterflies and you don't know how that happened. No, there's a process to this, and it starts with when you're discussing retirement and the possibility of planning for your retirement. You want to start looking at your living situation. You want to look at, gosh, I'm living in this 2 or 3 story house. Is this the best place for me to remain long term? And maybe you want to start coming up with a plan, an exit plan for that particular location, so that you can downsize into a single story, Perhaps if you're ready and you do a lot of traveling, an independent community might be better for you. It allows people to watch over your goodies and your home and still have the freedom to travel, knowing that you have the safety of being in a community. And we can help with all of those items in the multiple hats that I wear. I am also in real estate, so that at the end of the day, if there is a home that has to be sold or purchased, we can also help them in that way as well. In addition to the certified aging in place specialist, I am a certified senior advisor. I am a senior home coach. I am a senior real estate specialist. So I'm connected with a lot of nationwide communities, so that even if you're not here in the Southern California area, I'd be happy to connect you with another professional just like me in your area, in your neighborhood, so that you know that you're getting the level of care and assistance that you need.
And that really, really leads me into the next question that we need to discuss. There's a difference between senior advisors versus companies that advertise online or you hear them on the radio. Um, can you speak to that a little bit for us so we know the difference?
Absolutely. So a lot of the ones that you see that are advertising online, they have these amazing algorithms, and they're a big search engine. And what they do is you can go in and you can type in the name of a community that's near you, and you might inadvertently end up on a place for someone's website, and gathering your information. And what they do is they grab a hold of that, and they own it, and they try to own it, and they try to own you. And then what they do is they pepper you with they send out your information to 20 or 30 of the local communities, and all of a sudden you're getting all of these phone calls when, hey, all I'm doing is kicking the tires and looking around. I'm not ready to talk to anybody. I don't want any information. And all of a sudden you're going down this road that you had no idea you turned onto. So the nice thing about working with a senior advisor or someone who specifically does senior placement is we are boots on the ground, local. We are in these communities all the time. We come in and we interview you and your family so that we understand what it is your loved ones' needs are, what their likes, their dislikes, their eating habits, their social interaction, their desires, what they want to do, how they like to live, and we match them as best we can with a community that suits them the best, that fits them, as opposed to just sending you out and saying, well, here's a list of 20 places you can go look at. We try to narrow it down so that it's a list of 3 good fits that we also go to and tour with you, so that we can show you what we feel is a good fit and why we feel it's a good fit.
Because not all places and or placement agencies are made the same.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot
Yes.
of them are not even in the community. They're in a different state, and they've never stepped foot into any of the places that they're referring you to.
Mm, wild. Okay, let's see. Let's ask some questions here. You may be the daughter or the son of somebody aging. What are some of the signs that their aging loved one may need to make some changes to their living situation? Very difficult conversation.
It is. It really is. It's eye-opening and kind of heartbreaking, and especially given the fact that right now we're in the beginning of the new year. We've just come out of the holidays, when a lot of us have just come home from visiting our loved ones and looking around, and you're going, wow, the house didn't always used to look this dirty and unkept, and mom looks like maybe she hasn't washed her hair in a while, and there's maybe some dishes in the sink that don't normally sit there. There's stuff in places where it doesn't look like it belongs. Maybe some medications that got misplaced, or a mishap with some medications, falling, forgetting doctor's appointments, maybe getting lost when they're out driving around. So these little things are are
They're kind
little
of big.
indications that it's kind of time to start having a conversation, and definitely having a conversation from a place of love and understanding. You don't want to jump right into hey, we got to move you. Pack up, let's go. It's tell me what your day looks like, Mom, and how are you getting around, and how are you feeling, and is there anything that you feel like needs to be you need some help with, and kind of come at it from a place of love and respect instead of, hey, we're going to move you and change your life, because we definitely have to go at this with tact and love so that we're not immediately stressing them out, because it will absolutely shut down any conversation if you just start jumping in from both feet and eyes closed and full force.
Yes. Now, if say I noticed something at my family member's house when I went for the holidays, would I maybe bring you in sooner rather than later?
It's a good idea to get us in as soon as possible. Phone calls don't cost anything. I get paid by the communities that we place you at. So I don't have to bill you by the hour for my time. We come in and we work with the family, start the conversation, and a lot of times it's easier having an uncomfortable conversation through me than if you're getting resistance from your parents. It is sometimes easier to bring in a third party, and it just kind of brings the energy and the anxiety of the situation down, and we can help address the concerns and a lot of times misrepresentations of what it is to go through this process and what it looks like.
So that the kids are not being kind of the bad guy, so to speak. You're having the tough conversation. The kids are like, okay, mom, we can do this. Like they're more of the support system than
Exactly.
the person bulldozing them into something new.
Yes,
And we definitely
precisely.
don't want to be bulldozers because we don't want the conversation shut down.
No,
We
we don't.
have to have these tough conversations. And I'm having them now. My parents are in perfectly good health, but I am having these conversations now. They're in their 70s. Um, I know what they want. I don't have to guess.
That is so important because knowing ahead of time does help so much. You know that if for some reason they get into a situation where they can't make the decision, you already know what their wishes are. And that's the best part of this process about pre-planning.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's get on to the next one. Oh, hmm. What would you say is the most important part of your job as a senior advisor?
I think the most important part of my job as a senior advisor is being a listener and being a good observer. Because when you go into someone's house and you listen to what's important to them and you see how they live and what they love, then you can I'm able to do my job more effectively and accurately find the best place for them to age.
Now, also, you being a real estate agent, if they wanted to age in place, you could either, again, get them a single story, get them a condo, get them something smaller, more manageable, or even closer to their family members so their family members can pop in easier. Um,
Absolutely.
so, and then just, we work together. There are different types of loan programs for your 62 plus clients that work really, really well for financial planning. So, not only do we need to maybe make their home safe and all that good stuff, but we need to make it financially, it needs to make sense financially.
It really does because the cost of care goes up every year, and there's a point in time where you do have to look at the math and say, okay, well, if I've got somebody coming in a couple of days a week to help me out with some light housekeeping and some items that I need some help with, that's definitely a tenable situation, a situation where you can manage that for a while. So with the reverse mortgages, that really helps open up a new door for some of these individuals who maybe have a lot of their finances invested in their home and they don't have a lot of cash available to help pay for these expenses that unfortunately are not covered by health insurance.
Yes, yes. Oh, and that's a whole other thing that we could talk about too, is a lot of people think long-term care is included in their Medicare, Medi-Cal, and it is not.
Only thing
So,
that's included would be like a skilled nursing after an accident or a surgery. You have no, don't quote me because I'm not, that's not my business, but I believe it's 100 days to be in a skilled nursing facility after, and then after that it's on you. You don't have any help from your insurance when it comes to the assisted living, the memory care. You do not, unfortunately. It's that's why planning in advance and retirement planning is so important.
so that is all very, very interesting and tough, tough, tough. Okay, what is the one thing you'd like to leave our listeners who are dealing with the care of taking care of their aging parents or loved ones? What do we say to them?
Don't panic. Don't panic. Take a deep breath. Obviously, if it's an emergency situation, get them safe to the
Yes.
hospital or whatever. But take a breath. Take a sip of coffee or tea or your wine or your margarita, and give me a call and we'll talk through this together, because it's possible to get through this with your sanity intact and
Yes.
the relationship with your loved one still even better than ever. So it's not a horrible thing. It can be a process that actually brings your family closer, because you get to learn so many things about what they want, and it actually makes a lot of the other processes easier in the aging process, because you do get to have the tougher conversations with somebody there kind of guiding you and helping you through the process. It just makes the whole thing go more smoothly. So we're here to help. You're not alone. Don't panic. Just give us a call.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for being in the senior world and caring so much and learning, because I know you take a lot of different classes, because um, this is not something that comes naturally to people. Uh,
No, it is
so,
not. It is
so
not. I
don't
spend a lot of time every year at
yes.
continuing education. I'm actually getting a dementia certification this year just to make it easier for me to communicate with family members and those who are dealing with the dementia, Alzheimer's disease. It's all a learning process. It's always a growth process, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to help people through this process, because it is not easy. It's overwhelming and stressful and scary, and it doesn't have to be. With some guides, with a guide and some help, it can make it much easier.
Well, thank you for taking your time to come on and educate us about, what it means to be a senior advisor, a certified senior advisor. Um, all these things kind of are under the umbrella of just caring for our senior population, which is growing tremendously. So we as a country are going to be in a lot of, we're going to be in a spot, and if we don't start taking care of our seniors and learning how to do this, and recruiting the help of someone like yourself, it's going to be tough. So thank
We
you so
actually
much.
have, well, thank you so much for having me, Tiffany. I appreciate it. It's been such a wonderful opportunity to connect with you and your community, and I look forward to listening to more of your podcasts. I very much enjoy it. Thank you.
Well, and you actually have a podcast coming out, I think, this month.
I do. My podcast is called The Call to Care,
Oof,
and
that's a
I
good one.
focus on the caretakers and the people who are taking care of, whether it's a spouse, an aunt or an uncle or a parent, and how to deal with the day-to-day activities of being part of the sandwich generation, which means you've got your kids or grandkids on one side and your parent or aging loved one on the other. So it's kind of putting you in the middle and getting squished. So we try to help keep you from getting so squished.
Okay. Well, we look forward to your podcast coming out as well. All Lisa's information will be in this podcast, her website, her phone number, how to contact her. Um, phone calls are free to Lisa. Please,
Absolutely.
please reach out. Even if it's not time yet, chances are it will be. So be prepared and, use what services are out there for you. Again, thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on, and you have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks for tuning in to Retirement Reimagined. I hope today's episode gave you some great tips to elevate your retirement. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found our discussion helpful, please leave a review. It helps others find the podcast too. Curious about how to unlock new financial opportunities in retirement? I'd love to chat and explore how we can make your golden years even brighter. Until next time, I'm Tiffany Neary. Keep reimagining.